done. Air conditioning has been installed, and there is one last thing to do before I can count victory, and that is test the system for leaks. Air conditioning is not something you go ahead and open anytime you want. If I find a leak after I put the Freon in, well, I'm pretty much stuck, because if I open the system, then I'm going to be releasing Freon into the air, and that's not something that you want to do. You're supposed to take your car to a service facility where they can actually recover the Freon in a safe manner, and of course then they would charge you an arm and leg to fix the leak. Well, now that I have the system completely done and it doesn't have any Freon in there, I need to take this opportunity to check for leaks. Now, when I was doing my research on this, there's two ways that I found on the internet in which you can go ahead and check for leaks. One is nitrogen. You fill the system up with dry nitrogen, I guess it's gas, and if it doesn't hold the pressure, and I think it's 250 to 300 psi, if it doesn't hold the pressure, don't quote me on the pressures, I can't remember, I didn't really look too hard into it, but if it holds the pressure basically for a set amount of time, then you know you don't have any leaks. Now, that one I didn't like. I'm not going to go and buy a bottle of nitrogen just to do one test. So in my research I found another way. Now, part of putting the system into service requires you to put a vacuum on the system so that you can withdraw any moisture and air that's inside the lines. That one was something that I looked into heavily, and I found that there's two ways to create a vacuum. One was with an expensive air pump, which I guess if you have a use for it, you can go ahead and buy the air pump. It's about $100, and then you just basically hook it up to the lines via a air conditioning manifold gauge set, and you're good to go. You vacuum, and if it holds the vacuum, then you know you don't have any leaks. The second way, which I found to be very inexpensive and the method of choice, is through a Venturi pump. Basically, I will be showing that today. So let's go ahead and check out my air conditioning unit and see if I have any luck with it being completely sealed, because now that it's all done, I do have a whole bunch of O-rings still left over from the kit. These little guys right here, and that is because I did some custom lines, and so those are left over from the lines I did not use. And so if I find a leak, then and I open the system, I can always replace the O-ring. So I'm going to see if I can try to pinpoint the leak with the vacuum method, and I'm going to take you along. So the tool of choice for my vacuuming procedure is this little guy right here, and this only costed me $15, and I thought it was a good buy for what I need to do today. Basically, you'll need a nipple, so you install a nipple at the end, and you'll need a ball valve because this does not have an on and off switch. You can either put the ball valve here and the nipple, or you can have one already on your air compressor, and that's how you're going to turn on this little pump. And it is made for R134. There's the information right there, so you can read it. And so for $15, I thought it was great. Now, along with this, you will need a manifold gauge set. And so again, I paid inexpensive. I bought both of these things at Harbor Freight. This only costed me roughly about $50. It was on sale, so I took advantage of the sale. And I'm only going to be doing this maybe once. You know, as far as the vacuuming procedure, I'm only going to be doing it once, unless I find there's a leak and I have to do it again. And in the future, I'll probably use it again just to check my air conditioning. But as far as that, this is not going to be a profession or anything, so I thought that this was a good buy for what I needed as far as, you know, how I'm going to be using it. And what we're interested in is the blue gauge. And that needle, we want to go to as close to 30 as possible, and we want it to stay wherever it lands. We want it to stay there for the set amount of time that I choose. I'll probably choose 1 or 2 hours. If my system can hold a vacuum for that amount of time, I know there's no leaks. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to take you along and show you how it works, and let's hope for the best. Okay, so I got the lines hooked in to my high and low pressure ports. I got this valve all the way closed, which means it opens up the Schrader valves. And I got the lines hooked into the gauges. And my yellow line is hooked into the pump. And the pump's hooked up to my compressor. So we're going to start her up and see how she goes. Makes a lot of noise. There it is. See how far I can get it. As far as I'm going to get it. I'm going to close off the valve here. Turn off my compressor. So my compressor is off. Now I can talk freely. Basically, I closed up the system and it's right near 1. So basically, we'll use this needle up here to tell me where it's at. It's pretty much in between 4 and 5, and in between the line right next to middle, right next to half. So the one right next to half. I'm going to put a piece of tape there on the gauge, and on both sides all the way across. That way I can see if my gauge moves as time progresses. So basically the time now is almost 3 o'clock. So we'll come back at 4 for now and see how she does. Hopefully it'll hold my vacuum and I don't have to worry about any leaks. So we'll check back in about an hour. Okay, so it's a little bit over an hour since I did this. And before I show you the needles and stuff, the gauges, I'm going to show you the specifications for this air vacuum pump. That pump right there. And so basically, we've already discussed the air consumption, but the vacuum capacity is 28.3 inches of mercury. And I guess that would be the maximum this pump can actually pull as far as vacuum. There's a 75 psi recommended air pressure that you should be running the system at. Of course, I'm running it at 90 because I have a nice big compressor, but you can go all the way up to 180 psi. And the vacuum ports are 134A. So the reason why I wanted to show you that is because now that I'm looking at the needle, first of all, I like to say that it is exactly where I left it. So you can see the tape and you can see the needle. So now we're going to pull off the tape just enough to look at the numbers on there. And let me get my light. Basically, we know that the system is sealed because that needle hasn't moved in an hour. But in between, for example, 10 and the 20, each of those little lines equates to 2 inches of mercury. So if I think about it, obviously I can't see the little lines because there's a little pop rivet there for holding the face onto the gauge, but calculating where that needle is, it's roughly at 28 inches of mercury. And then up here you can see the needle is still in the same position, in between the half mark, between the 4 and the 5, and the little line next to the half mark. So this system is sealed. I have no leaks. I'm super happy about that. But to be absolutely satisfied, I'm going to wait another hour. So that's the time now. We'll check back in another hour. So it's another hour later, and let's go check out the gauges. So the gauges are still exactly where I left it. It's still right there in between the half mark and the little line next to it, and of course near 1. So I am now 100% sure that my system has no leaks. Now, I'm not going to put refrigerant in now because I still got a lot of other stuff I need to do before I decide to actually put refrigerant in there. So if it had been time for me to put refrigerant in, I would put it in via this yellow hose. Basically, I would disconnect it from the pump, the vacuum pump, and I would put a can of Freon ready to be sucked into the system. You leave the valves closed, both valves closed, when you connect the hose to the Freon can. And when you are ready, you turn on the car, and with the car on, you have the AC system running, and you open only the low side. Do not open the high side. You open the low side, and once you do that, because there is already a vacuum in the system, it will suck up some Freon automatically into the system until it goes to 0, and then slowly Freon will be introduced into the system. And then of course your air conditioning system will start to get charged. Now for this setup, Vintage Air recommends that we put 1 pound 12 ounces of refrigerant. So I'm not going to be driving the car for some time now. I mean, it's still got paint to do. I'm still going to put it all together before it ever gets driven as the daily driver, which is the plan for this car. But for now, I know this information for when I am ready. Once the car is done, then I will put the refrigerant. But I just want to share that with you, because while we're on the subject of this, these gauges, and of course the whole process in me checking is for me getting ready to put some Freon, just that I'm not going to do it for a while. So there it is. It's all done. I have a vacuum on the system. Everything is sealed. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm going to most likely leave the vacuum in the system. I'll disconnect everything and leave the vacuum. That way I don't introduce any moisture in while we wait on getting the car back on the road. As far as the belts, here are the belts. I have them installed, and just show you, basically the two belts are running, as far as the bottom portion, they're running in line with each other. They're parallel with each other. And of course, you see the alternator belt is on its own line, and then the AC belt goes to the crankshaft and the water pump pulleys. So it's all done. I'm very happy. So now I feel good. It was a total success. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.